good morning, and welcome to our podcast on Obscure Vibes. So, today we have with us two personalities that I really admire the most, Sandeep and Challenge. Welcome to our podcast.
Hey, hi Tejas.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Everything going well?
Yeah, doing good. How are you?
Same here. Just figuring out this podcast.
my
Nice.
pleasure being in this podcast.
Same. So, let's go into it. Correct? Let's jump into it. So,
I believe this is your first podcast, Tejas.
yeah, that's why I'm being a little bit nervous.
Oh,
But yeah, we'll overcome it. So, can you a little bit introduce yourself to the audience? Sandeep, over to you.
I hold an engineering degree in electronics and communication, and I passed out in 2012. Since then, I'm working in IT sector, and it has been almost 9 years now, going to be 9 years now. That's in brief about me.
Yeah. And Shailen, please.
Similar to Sandeep, I hold a bachelor's degree in information technology, and I have been working in IT sector, especially to mention IT service industry. There is another one product.
Yeah.
Since
So,
In
continue.
20. So it's been 11 years I've been working in this sector.
Yeah, that's why my title is also IT sector in life of this podcast, and hope it would be very interesting for the viewers as well. So yeah, let's start. So
Sure.
basically, like everyone is doing something or the other in life, like for either to manage their finances and all that thing. But what are the things that are important to you right now? Like things that you can't live without right now. So yeah, Shailen, please.
So many important things as of today. Definitely cannot live without my family. And today or tomorrow or yesterday, that will always be the answer. But the other thing I would like to mention is computer. Family is part and parcel of life. You have it. But other than that, something I have and something that I do every day, and I cannot imagine spending a single life without computer. I start my day working on computers, writing programs, end my day, same stuff. So yeah, as of today, I can't think if I can do anything or if I can survive without a computer.
Yeah, like teenagers, it is phone, which is an addiction. But yeah, if it could be used in some good things, it will be very beneficial for everyone. Yeah, over to you, Sandeep.
Yeah, so first and foremost, there are family values which are important at this stage, right? And not just at this stage, at every stage. And then, if I had to say, I'm engineer by blood, and I won't call it a day till I improve something on my software or the program which I'm working on, or I fix a bug or improvise something. I won't call it my day, right? So that is something which is most interesting for me.
That's a typical web coder that a lot of people out in the world see it. And like for me, I'm still figuring out some things, like my interest, my passions, my addictions that I should need to overcome, and focusing on health basically. This is what a teenager would say in this age. But yeah, this is pretty
Well,
much
that's a
about it.
perfect stage to explore things, right? And where you want to settle. Yeah, go on, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that much about it. So let's move on to the next point. Like, you both have established a lot of things in your life, from materialistic to non-materialistic things as well. So in this, like, you are very perfect for this question. Basically, like this Indian mentality or the basic needs, not Indian mentality, the basic needs of roti, kapda, makan. These three basic needs that one must accomplish in their life at a good stage in life to either survive or say anything. So, is there anything after that, like roti, kapda, makan ke aage kya? Like, do you pursue your passion, or do you pursue your passion then you accomplish these things, roti, kapda, and makan? So yeah, that's. I hope you understood the question. Yeah. So Shailendra, can you please post some knowledge on that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel roti, kapda और मकान पुरानी कहावत हो चुकी है. We have been hearing about it for when I don't remember. I mean, the day, I guess, as far as my memory goes, I have been hearing about it, roti, kapda और मकान. But मुझे लगता है आज के डेट पे talking about the same thing as 50 years ago does not hold true. Roti, kapda, makan, definitely very basic needs of every individual. But I think as of today, there are more things that we should add to this list. And I feel the next big necessity is health. We can have roti, kapda, makan, but if you don't have your health, you are not going nowhere. And when I say health, I want to add 2 points to that. Or controlling health or being in a better shape, there are 2 factors. One that we can control, what we can eat, we can exercise, we can take care of our body. But the other factor is there are some things which are out of our control, and for that we need external support. And when I say external support, basically the health system support in the country or area where you need, where you reside. So I definitely want to add, extend roti, kapda, makan or swasth, health. That's important to me.
Yeah, very valid point towards health. That is also a basic necessity for today. And Sandeep, would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, I'm perfectly aligned with Shailendra. Just to add, like once we have accomplished roti, kapda, makan, like you said, for ourselves, I feel, yeah, and then health, of course. I feel then it becomes our moral responsibility to make it available for other people as well, and to create enough opportunity for them. So, and then if we make it available for all the other people around us, then definitely it will be a better society. That's what we want, right? So not just for ourselves, but it should be there for every individual, and we should do something to create these kind of opportunities so everyone can earn this and have a good livelihood.
Another point I'd like to add here.
Yes.
I guess I don't know the origin of this question, why roti, kapda, makan, especially in context of India or what. Give an example of USA. Do you know or do you think every single individual has this basic necessity, basic needs covered? Do you think so? US, a great country, a fully developed nation, but even here, I don't have the exact count or the percentage, but I see a lot of homeless. They are just begging by the roadside. Country has progressed so far, so much, that a small amount of individuals' need is far behind. The country just does not care about that. and I don't think it will be possible for anyone to have this entire population of an area meet these basic needs of roti, kapra, and makan. I don't think that will be possible. I think the more we can get away from this, like the more people have these basic needs addressed, I think that would be better.
Yeah,
So
growing
I think
little
in
by
the
little.
list, I
Yeah,
think in this list we
And
have
we can
what
do
we discussed.
every single.
Yeah, I think then Tejas, we have 2 more items to add in your list.
yeah,
After roti, kapra, and makan, it should be health and education also, right? 5 things now. The list will keep on going, I think.
yeah. As the time pass by, the list is for sure going to move on, and as the generation would come.
Things should keep revising. We shouldn't be in a position where things were like 100 years ago and we just carry that. It needs to be revised to meet
Yeah.
current world needs.
Yeah, true. So these were the basic necessities that a person needs, and after these basic necessities, like after a particular age, you tend to marry. That's not a necessity basically, but it's
We don't
something.
tend to marry, actually, we marry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you marry.
Go on.
So, like, have you ever asked yourself the questions, like you both are married, happily married? Have you ever asked yourself the question that why marriage or something regarding the same? Yeah, Sandeep, go on.
Well, I first of all, I was not expecting such a question from a kid. I'll call you a kid or maybe a teenager, whatever.
Yeah,
So why marriage? I have I have 2 or 3 things to say here. First is this world, right? ये जो
Yeah.
वर्ल्ड है और इसमें जो हम लोगों का एग्जिस्टेंस है, एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ यू, मी एंड every single person in this world or every single creature, भगवान अगर कोई है, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट गॉड दैट वी प्रे, बट अगर कोई है जिसने इन चीजों को स्टार्ट किया होगा, लेट्स से कोई एक इमेजिनरी थिंग है, ये दुनिया में जो नई चीजें बनती है ना, नई चीजों का सृजन बहुत ही खूबसूरत चीज है, राइट? एंड पीपल से कि माँ बनना दुनिया का सबसे खूबसूरत एहसास है। वो क्यों है? इसीलिए है क्योंकि हम एक लाइफ को बर्थ देते हैं, राइट? और अगर हम लोग ये करते हैं, अगर हम लोग वर्ल्ड को आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, राइट, वी वांट मोर पीपल टू जॉइन इन द सिस्टम, एज ह्यूमंस आर मोर्टल, राइट? तो लोग आ रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, अगर हम लोग को इसको आगे कंटिन्यू रखना है, तो दिस इज द नॉर्म्स दैट वी हैव सेट, इसलिए ये जरूरी है।
true.
And
And
that is my angle.
yeah, pretty much clear, very clear. And what about you, Shailesh?
I think at one point of time in your life, you think need a person with whom you can spend your entire life, share everything in and out, which I'm sure being a child, we do not share everything to our parents.
Yeah,
Whatever happens in our school, we talk to friends. In the family, we talk to our family members, but we cannot swap things. Sometimes we do talk about our friends in our family and about our family and our friends, but there are things like your life partner. I think that's one relationship to whom you can share anything, and I guess, yeah, everything in and out, any topic, which you like or not, or if your other better half likes about that or not. It's more like that relationship. It may be a conflicting discussion that you may be having, or both of you guys agree to the same thing. But at one point of time, you will feel that I need a person with whom I can share my life and share my views and thoughts and whatnot. And that's where you feel like I should get married. You may have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So again, girlfriend is different. Now you may marry to the same girl, but the relationship changes. We are the same two guys, a boyfriend, girlfriend, but when you marry, now you're husband and wife, and things change. Being boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't think you share everything. You are not that open yet. At one point of time, you feel like, no, this is the person with whom I can spend my life. That's where we make a decision. Let's go get married and build our relationship from boyfriend, girlfriend to husband and wife.
Yeah.
And that's where your question, like, why did you decide to marry and should you marry, and those questions. Like one point of time, you feel like this is it and we should get going together.
Yeah, the basic purpose for this question was that if a person is doing something in his life, whether it's a job, whether it's marriage, or it's anything, it should have a purpose in it for him to be in the long run of it. Like short-term things are just temporary. They are not even serious sometimes. But for long term, I think everyone must have a purpose for something. Either it's your passion, either it's your job, either it's your wife or child or anything. So that's what I basically want to ask. And like, I don't think so, but will you apply the same thing on your child also? The things that have been applying on all the ages, right, till date, like study and then all the formal things like study and then do fetch a job for yourself, then all that processes that are. So will you tell your child to go on the same path or tell him to fetch something else, his own path of way? So what's your view on this, Sandeep?
This is a very dynamic question, and it depends on the variables that we have, right? As in programming world. So, and one of the key variable here is the child's nature or the child's interest and child's capabilities, right? So, till the time बच्चे को सेंस नहीं है, वो खुद से अपना कुछ नहीं कर सकता है, राइट, इमीडिएटली आफ्टर हिज बर्थ, तो वी आर देयर टू हेल्प द किड, राइट. उसके बाद जब वो थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है एंड टिल द टाइम उसको खुद की चीजें समझ में आने लगती हैं, तो my responsibility will be to make him aware of the things, right, and not telling him what is right and wrong, because things can be different from his side and from his angle. My responsibility would be just to make him aware how are the things, and just if I can share my experience with him so that he can carry forward from there, and then I'll leave it up to him what he want to do.
Yeah, basically the second option, let him fetch his own life or his own pathway and just guiding him.
Guidance.
Yeah.
I'll just add with guidance.
Yeah, with guidance. Yeah, and what about you, Shailesh? You became father and it's been approx 1 year. Congratulations for that.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to, I was planning to talk about that for this question. So, not necessarily I push things on him, be it a 9 months old kid. He is 9 months old and he's in the 10th month, in the 10th month. And even at this age, or compared to someone who is 15 years old, or at the verge of being called adult at 18 or beyond, or 21, or let's say as 30. At any age, you see a person has its own interest and a way of doing things. Even this 9-month-old kid, he Even if he cannot speak, he has ways to say, and he will do that. And not always you force him to do what you like. He is crying, you will ask him to stop, he won't. He will cry. You need to work together. When I say you need to work together, means you need to work with your kid, and both needs to work together. This small kids who cannot speak, definitely he cannot work with you. You need to understand and go with him at the very beginning of the life, and that carries forward. Now he is 30 years and I'm 60 years. There is a gap, age difference, and he will want to do something which I have to work with him and get going. So at any given point of time, I cannot impose anything to my children. And when I say, or as you were generalizing things, study, get job, get job, I think that's one of the option which parents feel that's the safest.
Yeah.
That we have seen people achieving it. Study, you'll get a job. And I think why they say that is they do not realize the potential or the strength of their own children. And if they don't know what their children can do, they want to go with the safest route. Study, get a job. So I think when it comes to me, I am definitely not going to do that. Say you study, get a job. Along the way, if I identify any strength in him, or if he does something extraordinary which he cannot identify, but based on my experience, if I feel like there's something he can build his career on, I'm definitely going to guide him and will definitely suggest you choose this career versus just study and get a job. By saying that, I'm not saying that he shouldn't study. Study should be the prime thing, but study for getting a job, I think that's the worst part. Study to build your knowledge, yes, thumbs up. Study to be intellectual, yes, you should do that. Study and get a job, no. At job, you're not doing the same thing what you study. And I think Sandeep would agree to that, even bachelor's degree in electronics or computer science. What we do in our day-to-day job, I think not even 5% of what we studied. So it's definitely not, there is no correlation, you study, get a job. Even for getting a job, you need to be intellectual, you need to be smart. And by just studying books, academic courses, you are not going to be that person. You will end up getting a job, but I guess you will not be that successful. You will have a job day to day, morning to evening, you come back, you may be frustrated because you may not be utilizing your own potential, your own strength. But because someone said that and you did it, may not turn up well at the end. So earlier the better to identify your strength, communicate with parents, or by their experience looking at you since you were a child. If they understood something or if they identified something in you, they should be communicating to you. Rather one route, study, get a job. That shouldn't be the case. But definitely that's the safest path for anyone to take.
Yeah. Let's be honest and address one thing, that if a parent thinks of child, like if you have a child, then you will always think of the safest option for him in life so that he won't struggle much in his life and a decent life, what our parents want. But a child might have big ambitions and all that thing. So one thing that is, parents should be open to their child and the other way around. Like if that communication happens, there should be no filters in between. Like मेरे को ये बताना चाहिए, मेरे को ये नहीं बताना चाहिए, and all that thing. And that will mainly, what we can say is build the bond between a parent and a child. and as well as finding the best option for the child rather than finding the safest option for him.
I think the communication starts gapping from children. I don't say they starts from parents, because they are the same guy. You were born, they were holding your hands, and they are the happiest person on the earth. Till the time you grow, they also grow. And I don't think they change their behavior or their mindset. It is the children who come to this world, go to school, meet with other people, and try to get some different sort of knowledge about this world, which deviates from what their parents has from their time, which could definitely be on our approx 30, 25 years, 30 years old mindset. And suddenly, as of today, things change. 20, 25 years down the line, you and your children will differ in the thought process. So when you say communication, I think it's important for children to establish the communication with their parent. I think we have seen this. This is the age where people or the children deviate. This is the age where they do wrong things.
Yeah.
And if you are not communicating with your parents, they are not aware of. You may be doing something in your school they don't know. But they always be your best teacher. They'll always want to be the best thing for you. And if there's nothing, they definitely cannot help, but they want to be you on the safest route. If you feel something that you should do, you should start the communication. Hey, Dad, I want to do this. This is what I really feel like doing. You need to start. Don't wait that your dad will come and say, oh, Tejas, you are not good at this, do that. So they don't know what you're good at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like, yeah.
and at the same time, you'll also have to be open, like when their children approach to them, and
Yeah.
they should listen with their open eyes, open ears, and make a call. Maybe that they don't think it's the best thing for their children, but you will have to massage the opinions and come up with a conclusion. So I think it has to be done over time. It's not one meeting and you say, I'm doing that. Dad said, no, you're not doing that. You study and get a job. So you need to establish that communication, and that should get going. That should be set up for the entire life.
Yeah, you said it very right. From both the
I think
parents'
this started with the prime thing: get study and get a job, right?
Yeah.
We have several examples in front of us. If you see in recent days, if you see, we have Zuckerberg, we have Bill Gates. In fact, some of the famous known figures, they are college dropouts, right? They haven't even they couldn't even complete their studies, but still they are doing great in their life.
Yeah.
Right, and well-known personalities for us.
So basically, I think it needs consistency, having trust on yourself, building trust with peoples, and anything you want to add to that?
All it needs is the passion to do things. That's what I'll say. If you're passionate about something, you will definitely be there.
Yeah. Yeah. As we were, yeah.
If you are passionate about study, you will study not for the job, but you will study for further study. And I've seen people,
yeah,
they are well and they like studying, so they do definitely school and college, and they go for higher education, the masters, the PhD, and then research scholars, because they like study.
Yeah.
So there are different categories of people, obviously, and for those guys, if you say you study and get a job, they can easily get a job because they like study. So if this then this, so that satisfies for them. There are other set of people who don't like study. They like playing cricket, and they are great in that field. They are people who like acting, and they are great. If you ask them, Sachin, I don't exactly remember, but I think he didn't pass his 12th exam. So there are people, and this cannot be generalized. Study and go get a job.
Yeah, very true. And as we were talking about knowledge seeking and gaining knowledge from all those conventional things, you both have been to the colleges, and so I want to know little bit, as I am 18 now and I have not been to a college currently, maybe in the upcoming months. So, what's that 4 years of your life in that college? Like, does it change something in you, or what's that? So Sandeep, please share some views on that.
If I have to sum up my 4 years in one line, I'll say in our college or in our hostel life, we learn to see or build up the equations with people. Okay, we don't learn equations mentioned in the books, but we learn the equations with people, and that is the only thing which we take from there.
Yeah, basically knowing people and yeah, building up relations with them. Yeah. And what about you, Shalim?
College life, I think that's a very interesting topic to speak to. Throughout your life, that I say those 4 years are golden period of your life. You enjoy your fullest, especially if you're staying in hostel. Completely different than if you're a day scholar residing at your home, just going to your college, coming back. It's as simple as your 10th and 12th standards.
Yeah.
Staying home, going for school, study, come back. Things change completely when you are in hostels, where you meet with hundreds of unknown faces, and day one have no one whom you know, exception like if you are from the same city, and if you get a good college in your current city, then you may know other people. But if you are going to a different town, you won't know. And speaking about me, I guess I was very shy when before I joined college, and even in college, I'd say. But things start to change. I meet with people which I do not know any single face, and if you are shy, what can you do? You cannot live on your own. You cannot be in your hostel room on your bed throughout. You have to speak up. You have to talk to your roommates, even if they are unknown. You need to build friendships. And so life completely changed once you step into college, and especially if you are staying in hostel. And I think it's for good. It changes a person. It teaches them a lot. It makes good relationships, and that stays forever through your entire life.
So you both basically agree on the point that one must go to the hostel.
I'm not saying one must go to the hostel. I'm saying if you are staying in hostel,
you have an option, right?
It's a good opportunity. I won't say it's an opportunity. It's a good learning, or it's a good time to spend, I would say. And definitely you learn something. You expose yourself to a different world. Good time. So in that regards, if you are staying in a town, if you have a very good college in the same town, I won't suggest you leave your home and go stay in a hostel. Definitely not. So I'm not suggesting that you must go and stay in hostel, but if you end up being in that situation, don't hesitate to say no. Just grab the offer.
Yeah, and talking about all the knowledge and everything, as I know, Sandeep, he's been doing meditation from I think class 9th or 10th. Am I right?
That's true.
Yeah, so like these days meditation is a whole new world, as people say. Like the young generation is coming towards meditation, meditating, and all those spirituality. But as you were doing it from class 9 until date, it's been a very long time. So, what are your views on meditation particularly, and what are the benefits that you have seen in the long run of meditating every day?
Okay. So you said young generation is moving towards it. I'll stop you there. Young generation, they might be moving, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि बीच में हो सकता है लोगों का इंटरेस्ट यहाँ पे थोड़ा कम हो गया होगा मेडिटेशन में. बट एज यू नो, ये हजारों साल पहले से चलता आ रहा है, राइट?
Yeah.
Meditation, and especially we Indians are fortunate to have this as a part of our history. Benefits of meditation, if you ask me, here I'll connect the meditation with science, or if you see the basic connection, the wiring inside our body or brain, जैसे हम लोगों के घर में बिजली के तारों से होता है, वैसे हमारे बॉडी के अंदर की जो वायरिंग है वो न्यूरॉन्स से बनी हुई है, राइट? तो जैसे कि अगर आपके बॉडी के किसी एक पार्ट में कुछ होता है, राइट, जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे ऐसा किया, मेरे ब्रेन को वो सिग्नल गया, वो सिग्नल ब्रेन तक कैसे पहुंचा? वो न्यूरॉन्स के थ्रू पहुंचा, राइट? ऐसे ही हम जब कुछ सोचते हैं या कोई एक्टिविटी करते हैं, हम जब कोई लॉजिक क्रैक कर रहे होते हैं, तो हमारे ब्रेन में न्यूरॉन्स चल रहे होते हैं, राइट? दे आर कनेक्टिंग एंड ट्राइंग टू कम अप विद अ सॉल्यूशन. तो बेसिक चीज यही है, जिसके न्यूरॉन्स जितने फास्ट ट्रिगर होंगे, जितने स्ट्रांगली कनेक्ट होंगे, उसका आईक्यू उतना अच्छा होगा. एंड अगर आईक्यू उतना अच्छा होगा तो दैट पर्सन विल बी गुड एट एवरीथिंग. तो मेडिटेशन करने से यू गेट अ डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट. आपका जो न्यूरॉन सिस्टम होता है, तो जब हम न्यूरॉन्स की बात कर रहे हैं, वही न्यूरॉन्स एक पूरा न्यूरॉन सिस्टम बनाते हैं, राइट? और न्यूरॉन सिस्टम ही हमारे बॉडी को पूरा ड्राइव करता है. तो मेडिटेशन से यू बूस्ट अप योर न्यूरॉन सिस्टम, एंड उसके कई सारे फायदे हैं, राइट? आई वोंट गो आफ्टर दिस, बट I was fortunate and happened to be part of a school. वो सरस्वती विद्या मंदिर था, and there it was a small town. I'll say Giridih. It's a small town in Jharkhand, from where I came to know about all these things. And there was a teacher. I still remember his name. I think he was Nagendra. I still remember his name, and we used to call him Doga. So he was making us learn all these things, and then we started. That time we were kid, right? We were not mature, and उस समय ये benefits इतने समझ में नहीं आते थे, तो we were just doing it for sake of doing, क्योंकि कोई कह रहा है तो कर लो स्कूल में. बट उसके बाद ये हुआ कि it was long back in, I think 99-2000 की बात है, जब मैं ये सब सीख रहा था. एंड उसके बाद आई थिंक 3-4 सालों के बाद it got very popular on TV also. We saw various figures coming out on TV and educating people, releasing videos ताकि लोग educate हों. तो awareness, I'll give credits to those people जिन्होंने awareness फैलाया. They don't originally hold this, but उन्होंने awareness जरूर फैलाया. I'll give them the credits for this. But yeah, और उसके बाद फिर then जैसे जैसे मेरी भी maturity level बढ़ती गई, मैंने और भी समझा इन चीजों के बारे में कि वो क्या असर दिखा रहे हैं. एंड देन मैंने अपने लाइफ में भी इसका असर देखा है to a great extent. Yeah, so that's all about me.
Yeah, basically you would recommend it to anyone out there, like 18-year-old kid.
I do. हर किसी को करना चाहिए, and especially people complain about time कि busy हैं, time नहीं है.
Yeah.
So if you say about me, मैंने अपने जब मेरा शेड्यूल बिजी होता है तो आई मिनिमाइज इट टू 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and I feel even those 10 minutes, so at times I see I don't get time to get a proper sleep. Maybe with 4 to 5 hours of sleep, I just managed to get going my entire day. अगर उस बीच में if I get just 10 minutes, तो वो जो 10 मिनट्स का जो मेरा मेडिटेशन है वो शायद 2 या 3 घंटे की नींद को कंपेंसेट कर देता है. आई विल नॉट से इट एज
Yeah,
अ ये रेगुलर रूटीन में फॉलो करना चाहिए, बट ये इसका क्विक बेनिफिट है. बट देन आप लॉन्ग टर्म में इसका बेनिफिट जरूर देखते हो, राइट? अभी हम लोग थोड़ी देर पहले हेल्थ की बात कर रहे थे, एंड
yeah,
ये उसका एक पार्ट होना चाहिए. और न्यू जनरेशन में मैंने देखा है कि फिजिकल फिटनेस का जो ट्रेंड है, दे प्रेफर टू डू मोर फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग, जिम जाना है, दौड़ना
yeah.
है, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. तो वो आपकी बॉडी को मजबूत बना सकता है, बट वो आपके माइंड को मजबूत नहीं बनाएगा, राइट? टू मेक योर माइंड साउंड एंड टू मेक योर न्यूरॉन सिस्टम बेटर, you need meditation.
Like in these times, we have seen that mental health is a very important thing for oneself, and I think this helps in that also, in order to give you a little boost in your life. And yeah, and Shailendra, do you do meditation on all such things?
No, first of all, great to hear about Sandeep that he does that, and he has been doing it for 20 years now.
Yeah,
I used to do. I remember my school days, like around 10th, 12th. I used to wake up 5:30 in the morning and then do meditation for first half an hour. I think I was doing great at that time, and then suddenly and slowly it phased out of my habit, and I'm unable to get back to that habit. Currently I do not do meditation. I wish I should.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining about time. I do have time, but it's just not in my habit, and something I should try to build on.
yeah, everyone has different things in their life and different habits as well. Like some of the people have habits of like bad habits, which could include like smoking and drinking and all that. So all the spiritual gurus that are there, they say this one thing: get high on your own supply. Like from this meditation only, like getting high on your own supply. Because if like someone does for 2 hours, 3 hours and for longer time, then he may feel a high, the same high that he may be feeling there. That's why this is said today in modern term, like get high on your own supply. This will not only protect you, and it will not damage you from inside, that those external toxic things may do. So yeah, concluding to that.
So if you see Tejas here, I can. It depends on how, like what कितना time है हम लोग के पास. I can keep on talking on these things. If you say about our body, so if I had to define our body in these terms, you are saying, so our body is the most sophisticated and biggest chemical factory running in this world. जो कि किसी और फैक्ट्री में नहीं होता होगा, जो हमारे बॉडी के अंदर इतनी बड़ी केमिकल फैक्ट्री, एंड इट्स ऑल अ केमिकल फैक्ट्री. बॉडी में कुछ भी होता है, ब्रेन में कुछ भी होता है, छोटी से छोटी चीज, इट इज ऑल ट्रिगर्ड बाय हार्मोन्स, राइट? किसी में भी, मेल फीमेल में, हर एक, हमारे जो इवन सेंटिमेंट्स आर कंट्रोल्ड बाय हार्मोन्स. तो आप देख रहे हो, सेंटिमेंट इज अ नॉन टैंजिबल थिंग, और हार्मोन्स जो रिलीज हो रहे हैं is a kind of chemical जो कि आपके sentiments को control कर रहा है. तो see the relation here, and you are saying हमारे body में the body can produce whatever it wants, right? हम लोग सब कुछ produce कर सकते हैं, and जो the food that we intake, वो kind of हमारे लिए fuel का काम करता है. The food is fuel for this factory, और उस फ्यूल को फिर ये बॉडी प्रोसेस करता है, एंड देन जैसे कि आप इसके बारे में सुन रहे हो, राइट, विटामिन डी के बारे में, पीपल टेक
Yeah.
विटामिन डी, लेकिन विटामिन डी के बारे में या जो ओमेगा एसिड्स होते हैं वो डायरेक्टली जो हम कंज्यूम करते हैं फूड में भी प्रेजेंट रहते हैं, बट वो फॉर्म बॉडी के लिए यूजफुल नहीं होता। तो जो हम कंज्यूम करते हैं, बॉडी की जो केमिकल फैक्ट्री है वो उसको प्रोसेस करती है, उसको सुटेबल बनाती है, देन वी हैव किडनीज एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स टू प्रोसेस दिस एंटायर थिंग, राइट। उसमें से बॉडी फिर चीजों को कन्वर्ट करता है, केमिकल्स बनाता है, कंज्यूम करता है, एंड देन ये कुछ भी प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है बॉडी के अंदर ही जो भी इसको नीड होती है। तो काइंड ऑफ हमको बाहर से कुछ भी लेने की
Yeah.
जरूरत नहीं होती है। अभी हम लोग इतना आगे आ चुके हैं, मेडिकल साइंस इतनी तरक्की कर चुका है इंसानों के लिए, इसलिए वी हैव स्टार्टेड टेकिंग मेडिसिन एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स। बट अगर हम लोग जानवरों की बात करें तो दे काइंड ऑफ हील देमसेल्व्स, राइट। उनको
Yeah.
वो बाहर की चीजों पे बहुत कम डिपेंडेंट है, एंड अदरवाइज नेचर ने उनको सिखा दिया है कि क्या लेने से सही हो जाएगा। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम दे हील देमसेल्व्स विदाउट मेडिकल साइंस। But
Yeah.
yeah, medical science is another great story running around us.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. And little bit debating you towards your job. Like, would you like to share all the projects that you may be going through, and just giving little bit information if you are comfortable with that. So Shailen, please.
About project, I've been, as I said initially, I've been working with Infosys Limited, and as a service company. I'm giving this service to a US-based client, and I don't think it would be wise to disclose the projects, the official projects that I've been doing part of that.
Yeah, it's completely okay. There are many terms and conditions involved in all these things. Yeah. So Sandeep, would you like to share something of your job that for the client that you are working on, the company that you're working with, projects?
Okay, so I'm currently working with Neurotags, and Neurotags के बारे में अगर सच बोलूं तो so one question before I describe about it. One question to you, Tejas. Would you like to buy fake products of inferior qualities?
Never. No
right?
one.
Same goes with me. और मुझे नहीं लगता कि वर्ल्ड का कोई भी आदमी फेक प्रोडक्ट्स या इंफीरियर क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करना चाहता है, राइट। वी आर रेडी टू पे एंड वी वांट क्वालिटी। मोस्ट ऑफ द लोगों के साथ यही है। तो न्यूरोटैक्स इज ऑल अबाउट एंटी काउंटरफिटिंग। इट्स एन एंटी काउंटरफिटिंग प्रोडक्ट एंड इट्स अ डिजिटल सॉल्यूशन फॉर ऑफलाइन प्रोडक्ट्स। So when we say offline products, anything which we buy from market, जो कि हम शॉप से लेके आते हैं या फिर we buy even online, वो फेक है या नहीं उसको डिटेक्ट करने के लिए we are working on this product, and I think अभी इंडिया के कुछ बड़े मेजर क्लाइंट्स यूज कर रहे हैं, राइट। जैसे कि सिस्का एलईडी है और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सेगमेंट में तो काफी सारे हैं, एंड इवन इन यूएस इट इज गेटिंग पॉपुलर। इसमें कोर कॉन्सेप्ट इसका यही है कि बिफोर यू बाय द प्रोडक्ट यू कैन नो इफ द प्रोडक्ट इज counterfeit product or it's a genuine product coming from the right manufacturer that you expect. So ये product है. I'm working with Neurotags.
So can I ask just one question, that how do you identify whether it's a counterfeit, or like do you have some like what we say, like how do you check if it is a counterfeit or is it a
well, I can explain all about the functionalities and the algorithms that we use. It's a mix of many things. It's not that straightforward that you check if it is genuine or not. So I think I'll suggest to viewers, they can go to the YouTube channel again and they can watch some Neurotags video to get a good understanding. But for people who are watching us here, so we use kind of two tags pairing technology, and it is our patent. it is still pending, but yeah, बॉक्स के बाहर, पैकेजिंग के बाहर एक कोड रहता है, एंड देन पैकेजिंग के अंदर एक कोड रहता है, right? So before buying the product, you scan the code on the package, and it's appless service. You don't need any app. अभी सबके स्मार्टफोन में QR code readers होते हैं. You can scan that QR code, and then you can check if the item is genuine or not. That QR code will show this item is genuine. एंड देन आप जब प्रोडक्ट को बाय कर लेते हो तो प्रोडक्ट के अंदर एक क्यूआर कोड है, जैसे कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्रोडक्ट है तो उसमें वारंटी एक्टिवेट करने के लिए या क्लाइंट्स लॉयल्टी रन करते हैं, तो आप अंदर वाले कोड स्कैन कर लेते हो, विच इज अ पोस्ट परचेस टैग. तो जब आप पोस्ट परचेस टैग स्कैन कर लेते हो एंड यू गेट दी वारंटी रजिस्टर्ड, अब क्या होता है, जो बाहर वाले टैग थे, अब जो कोई भी दूसरा पर्सन उस टैग को स्कैन करने वाला है, दे विल ऑल सी कि दिस प्रोडक्ट इज ऑलरेडी सोल्ड. Now for counterfeiters, usually counterfeiters क्या करते हैं, they make duplicate of a product. तो वो आपका एक original product buy कर लेते हैं and उसका सब copy करके replicate कर देते हैं, they just replicate it. अब ऐसे में क्या होगा कि to replicate, so if they are getting one item and getting one code, and if they replicate, तो our code is unique per item in the world, और world में I'll say कि जितने ग्रेन्स हैं हम उतने कोड जनरेट कर सकते हैं, राइट? दैट इज द कैपेबिलिटी दैट वी हैव. तो अभी जब काउंटरफिटर उनको रिप्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, सेम ही कोड बहुत सारी चीजों पे लगा रहा है, तो वन आइटम इज सोल्ड देन ऑल डोल, लेट्स से एक काउंटरफिटर ने 10,000 कॉपीज तैयार कर ली हैं ऑफ फेक प्रोडक्ट्स विद इंफीरियर क्वालिटी. अब उन 10,000 प्रोडक्ट्स पे आप स्कैन करोगे प्री परचेस टैग, तो आपको यही शो करेगा कि दिस प्रोडक्ट इज ऑलरेडी सोल्ड, नोबडी इज गोना बाय दैट प्रोडक्ट, राइट? और अदरवाइज फिर दूसरा काउंटरफिटर के लिए ये हो सकता है कि दे मैनेज टू ऑब्टेन 10,000 यूनिक कोड्स फ्रॉम अस, बट उसके लिए उसको वो 10,000 प्रोडक्ट्स बाय करने पड़ेंगे, व्हिच इज इकोनॉमिकली नॉट वायबल फॉर देम. ईदर वे इट्स अ लैक ऑफ मोटिवेशन फॉर काउंटरफिटर्स टू. हम लोगों ने यूएस में काफी सारे ब्रांड्स हैं, इंडिया में भी काफी सारे ब्रांड्स हैं जो कि अराउंड 30 to 40% फेक प्रोडक्ट्स फेस करते थे, एंड न्यूरोटैक्स यूज करने के बाद इट हैज ऑलमोस्ट केम टू जीरो. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्रोडक्ट में यूजुअली ऐसा होता है कि यू बाय फेक प्रोडक्ट, आपने बाय कर लिया, खराब हो गया कुछ दिन बाद, 10 दिन 20 दिन के बाद, एंड नाउ जब वो खराब हो गया, देन यू गो टू द ओरिजिनल मैन्युफैक्चरर सेइंग कि इसकी वारंटी कवर करो, राइट? उस टाइम पे मैन्युफैक्चरर को एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ता है, इवन इफ इट इज नॉट देयर प्रोडक्ट, उन्होंने नहीं बनाया है, इट्स अ फेक प्रोडक्ट, बट जस्ट टू बिल्ड द कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप वो अभी ऐसा कर रहे हैं बिकॉज दे हैव नो मैकेनिज्म टू आइडेंटिफाई दिस. But with this solution, even if you go to the service center person can scan the item, and then they can see if the item is genuine or not, and they can even question you at the time of purchasing, why didn't you scan to see if the product is counterfeit or not, right? तो अगर आप counterfeit product buy कर रहे हो या किसी भी तरह से promote कर रहे हो, तो you cannot exploit the system anymore.
Yeah, it's a great
this is driven by some heuristics and AI algorithms, and there are many things running behind the scene. So when we show a green check that item is genuine, it's not one signal that is coming there. It's roughly 20 plus signals जिस पे की बेस करके ये दिखाया जाता है कि item is genuine or not. Logically एक example है इसका, तो if you are scanning a code now here in Pune and somebody after 5 minutes scanning the same code in Delhi, और अगर हमारा सर्वर ऐसा डिटेक्ट करता है कि सेम ही कोड कई सारे लोकेशन से स्कैन हो रहा है, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम टाइम एंड डिस्टेंस को रिलेट करें, इट इज प्रैक्टिकली इम्पॉसिबल, राइट? तो जो हम लोग का एआई एल्गोरिथम है, दिस इज जस्ट अ बेसिक एग्जांपल, जो हम लोग का एआई एल्गोरिथम है वो इन टाइप के सिग्नल्स को डिटेक्ट करता है और वो पता कर लेता है कि यस दिस कोड इज रिप्लिकेटेड, और वो सारे कोड को वी मेक देम नल एंड वॉइड, सो नोबडी विल एबल टू बाय इट.
Yeah, it's a great move for India as well, like removing all the counterfeit things.
It's a betterment for our society.
Yeah, it's a very great thing. I want to ask you both of just one question, that कोडिंग दिन भर करनी होती है, इतना काम, मतलब दिन भर क्या ही कोडिंग करेंगे? एक टाइम के बाद अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट बन गया तो उसके बाद उसकी क्या कोडिंग करेंगे? तो दिन भर और पूरे महीने 30 days रहता है काम कोडिंग का, या मतलब क्या? वो एक जेन्युइन क्वेश्चन.
मैं बताता हूँ. हो सकता है संदीप अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट्स में काम कर रहा हो, एक को ओवर तो दूसरा शुरू. मैं पिछले 6 साल से एक ही एप्लीकेशन पे काम कर रहा हूँ, कोडिंग, तो यस यू विल हैव टू डू इट। ऐसा नहीं कि दिन भर कोडिंग कर रहे हो, 300 दिन कोडिंग कर रहे हो, नहीं। दिन भर में if I break down my days, I spend 4 to 5, sometimes 6, 7 hours just communication, talking to the teams, and demographically distributed teams, not all in the same town. It's a distributed team. So communication eats up a lot of time remaining. Sometimes as you grow higher in the industry with experience, now you don't code that often compared to an entry level software engineer. You participate more on design discussion. You do more of a code review than writing code on your own. You have your team writing the code and you review them. But come up with a high level design, or if you have teams coming up with a design, then you meet with them and review those designs before they can be implemented through the coding. When you say code is not the ultimate thing that we do or that goes in software industry. That's only 10-20% of the thing. So don't think service like the software engineering or software service engineering, it's only coding. 20% only. Most of the time go requirements, communication, coming up with a high level design. Once you have that, then you break down to low level design, review them, make sure that that's good before you jump on coding. If you directly start coding and if you have any question or things are not working, then you redo those things, which is time consuming, and that's not effective. So before you write code, you want to make sure that you have requirements all sorted out, well designed. So you just go and write. For that, testing. The amount of time they spend coding, I think it's more or less the same time spent on testing. So there are different types of testing being done. Not just you write a code, you launch the program, or you open a website and you see the content and done. A lot of different types of testing goes on. So yeah, your question. Full day coding, 30 days coding, no. And months after months, year after year coding. Yeah, you continue, you keep doing the code. You keep building the software, you patch, say you wrote a function, but a bug was found, you'll fix that. This type of things keep coming, new requirements keep coming, and we keep coding. But not only coding, there are a bunch of other things that go hand in hand with coding.
Is that same with you also, Sandeep?
So I'll try to come up with few more scenarios. So Shailendra explained his current roles and responsibilities maybe, but when you start in your early days, I'll say if you join as a developer somewhere or if you do coding at your own, yes, you will be coding, right? Somebody will be giving you requirements and you will be coding. And then once you start climbing up the ladder, that's a different story. Then you need to get involved in several other things, like he explained, starting from the requirement gathering, feasibility study, high-level designs, low-level designs, managing the team, creating policy, making the team bonding strong, and whatnot. Many things you will have to do. But yeah, for somebody who is starting up, so now there are two angles to see. Two angles from which we can see this. So as you said, do I need to code entire day, 30 days? The answer is, imagine two different people. One is smoker and other one is chain smoker, right? So the chain smoker guy, जो chain smoker है, उसको he won't realize. आप उसको 100 पैकेट दे दो दिन में, वो फूंक डालेगा. उसके लिए कोई बहुत बड़ा एफर्ट नहीं है उसमें, राइट? उसको 100 पैकेट फूकने में उसको कुछ जा नहीं रहा है. तो ऐसे ही होते हैं कोडर्स एंड डेवलपर्स. दे गेट एडिक्टेड टू इट और दिन रात का फर्क फिर हट जाता है. you won't realize the difference कि अब मुझे खाना खाना है, अब मुझे सोना है, या रात हो गई. All those things will get vanished from your life. But if you are addicted to coding,
Yeah.
the other group of people, they are not addicted, they are just doing it for job. उनके लिए दिन भर क्या, उनके लिए ऑफिस का टाइम निकालना बहुत बड़ी बात हो जाती है. 4 बार कैफेटेरिया जाएंगे एंड देन somehow they'll try to wrap up their day, pushing things for next day. ये चलता रहता है, right? So coding, if you start in your early days, by force you will have to do it. By addiction you can keep on going without anything, and then as you climb up the ladder you will get involved in certain other responsibilities as well, not just the coding.
Yeah. इस एक चीज पे अब आई एम बिट क्लियर, जो कि सुनने को तो बहुत आता है लाइक कोडिंग कोडिंग कोडिंग, बट या देयर आर अ फ्यू responsibilities as well as you told. So
Another thing to add,
yeah,
so in our world we say functional requirements, non-functional requirements. Like functional requirements, something is asked for, you build it up, it's working fine. Non-functional, we say, is the performance right? No one asks for whether how many transactions should execute in how many minutes. But that we come up with, we make the systems better, we design our application as such and code accordingly so that it performs better. So functional and non-functional. During the days of a software engineer, you can divide that into functional and non-functional. Functional, you are productive, you're coding, designing, or whatever you're doing or you're supposed to do. Non-functional, you take time off. I'm not saying day off, but even during the day, you take some time off, go do whatever you wish to, come back and start the work again or resume the work. And when I say go get a break, I think talking about even in India and USA, if you see a company setup, the office setup is more of an open space. You're just not given a cubicle, a desk, and you go there, you work, come back, go home. No, it's more of an open space. You go, the employers want you to be productive, and just by sitting in your desk and keep coding or doing whatever the job asks for, you will not be productive. You need some refreshment, like your body needs.
yeah,
So, and that's a crucial part of a software engineer's day. Take a break, 15 minutes, get refreshed, come back. If you're not doing that, even if you're coding addictive, I would say if you continue coding, I think your mind will get tired. And I've seen that even myself. I'm doing something and I get stuck, and I have no clue where to go next, how to resolve that. But sometimes in those situations, take a break. You're getting a coffee somewhere down the line. You're in Starbucks, looking outside, just enjoying the view. But something in your mind is still running about that problem.
in the unconscious.
Yeah, or in an unconscious way, although you're not at your desk. And you have a solution. You go back, you implement it. And that's where I initially started with functional and non-functional. Function, actually working what you're supposed to do, non-functional doing other stuffs, but even those are tied to your functional requirements. That at the end translates to the work.
I think breaks are
Just an example of my office setup here. It's like a space is dedicated where you have a pool table, you have television, you have an open cafeteria, and a bunch of in-house indoor game setup. So you not only work. When you go to office, don't think that I'm going to work. You are going to office also to enjoy some time off. Take half an hour break in your 8-9 days long, 8 to 9 hours long day. Take 15 minutes break, half an hour break, go play some game, have a coffee for free. enjoy the setup, and come back refreshed. So you'll be more productive. And I know employer knows about this, and they want the space open.
Yeah, that's why breaks are bit too important in everything that you do, like even in studies. It's basically refreshing your mind from the constant exaggeration that you were going through, and then starting the same thing, but with a fresh mind for the better clarity. So, yeah, so before wrapping up this podcast, just one thing that I would like you to discuss upon is stocks and crypto. So, like, it can be your viewpoint, like all the things that you may know, all your views. So, yeah, Sandeep, please go on, share some views on
So
this.
stocks and crypto are two different things. I'm not sure why you're clubbing these two things. But as far as stocks are concerned, again, there are two things what people are telling and what I have experienced. If you ask about my personal, the market and people call it
Yeah,
bazaar, right? It's on and keep on going, and you will see Sensex high and up and bulls and bearing all those things. If you ask me personally, mm, I feel I'm not equipped enough to play in this market, and whatever I have tried, I have not got the expected results. Maybe because uh, people set the wrong expectation that you put some money and then uh, it's like one famous viral YouTube video कि इधर से
yeah,
आलू डालो उधर से सोना निकलेगा. It's not like that, but we end up imagining such story. ऐसा होता नहीं है. तो whatever I have experienced, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. And because of the same expectation, ऐसा कुछ मिला नहीं. But I'll say I'm not equipped enough to play in that area. And crypto also, you added crypto also in the same question. Crypto is a different it's a different game, right? So if you see Bitcoin getting famous in the past, and then nowadays Ethereum concept is getting
yeah,
famous. So but one thing is for sure that this crypto thing and the mining of these equations to guess the answer and solutions, uh, carbon footprint is a big concern here, right? Mining power जिस तरीके से बढ़ रहे हैं, and then you grow the network, आपका network जितना grow होता है उतने ही powerful आपको mining servers चाहिए होते हैं. And then पहले तो normal computer से mobile phone से भी हो जाता था. Nowadays people are building a special hardware for mining, right? We call it ASIC, application specific circuit, जो कि इसके लिए बनाया जा रहा है. इसका डाउन साइड बहुत बड़ा कार्बन फुटप्रिंट है. एंड देन इफ यू सी लुक एट द नेचर, बार बार नेचर हमको यही अलार्म कर रही है, कार्बन फुटप्रिंट्स घटाओ. आप देखो अभी रिसेंट में, अगर लास्ट 1 साल या 2 साल का भी नहीं, यूएस में कई जगह पे फॉरेस्ट फायर इज अ कॉमन थिंग नाउ. मौसम, अनएक्सपेक्टेड मौसम में बदलाव आना एंड वाटर एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स गेटिंग कॉमन. अभी हम लोग के लिए बड़ा अलार्म है कि हम लोग कार्बन फुटप्रिंट घटाएं, जो कि क्रिप्टो is a completely in a different direction. But आप यूजेस की अगर बात करो, the concept is a good concept. हम लोग यहाँ पे अभी we are talking about the public ledgers, जहाँ पे चीजें रिकॉर्ड हो रही हैं, they cannot be modified. We are talking about policies, transactions, right? So concept is good. If you ask about future of this, I'll say it cannot work independently. The blockchain cannot sustain at its own. क्योंकि अभी आप अगर बिटकॉइन की ही बात करो, तो the total data that they have is around 200 GB, right? And the network has started struggling, क्योंकि कोई भी एक ट्रांजेक्शन होता है, it has to flow in the entire network में जितने भी कंप्यूटर्स हैं सबके पास ये इंफॉर्मेशन रिकॉर्ड होनी
yeah,
जरूरी है. एंड देन एक जो कॉमन यहाँ पे कॉन्सेप्ट है कि मेजर नोड्स, अगर जो ज्यादा नोड्स हैं वो जो रिकॉर्ड्स कह रहे हैं वही सही है. What if somebody is coming up with more nodes than the current network has? तो वो पूरे नेटवर्क को हाईजैक कर सकता है, राइट? और वो पूरे नेटवर्क को बदल सकता है, क्योंकि अब उसके पास ज्यादा पावर है. He has more number of nodes, and जो भी वो बोलेगा वो बाकी पूरे नेटवर्क को मानना पड़ेगा. there can be conflicts and many other such things. Future में I'll see, I'm seeing it as a ये independently इसका grow होना थोड़ा difficult है. Maybe it can work with collaboration of something. Public blockchain ना करके अगर हम लोग if we call it a private blockchain या hybrid blockchain में जहाँ पे अभी हम जो traditional systems use कर रहे हैं या databases use कर रहे हैं transactions को log करने के लिए वही log करते रहें, and then with some frequency or some interval, not all data should go into blockchain, but अगर हम ऐसा करें कि हम सिर्फ milestones को blockchain में भेजें तो that way transactions will be less in blockchain, but as well as the milestones will be preserved there, carbon footprints भी कम होंगे.
Yeah.
That's my view on the crypto users.
Yeah. So yeah, you said it very right, and a lot of things are now clear from your perspective. And yeah, Shailendra, what about you on these two things, growing things?
I don't have much insight into crypto. I guess I never really liked the concept, and that could be a reason I never invested any time learning about it. But I think that's a bad sign on my part. I should have at least known what's going in the world. So just to know what it is, what it's not, when the entire world is talking about it. Maybe it's a failure or it's a success, but you should at least know what it is. So I can't speak too much about the crypto. Talking about stocks, there definitely a mixed feelings, and it's not either or neither nor. You need to understand the underlying business, how stocks operate. You just cannot watch some of the YouTube videos or just buy some stocks and expect things to turn around. That may happen, may not. And if you're doing it without the basics, you are going to lose the money, I feel. And we have seen that, at least I have seen that with many people doing that. Versus if you have good core concepts, how that operates, how that market works, how those stocks work, the mutual funds. When you say mutual funds, we are indirectly still talking about stocks. So I guess you need to understand the basics before you take a step and invest. Definitely an option compared to fixed deposit or any other sort of investment. But
Yeah.
no strong opinion whether you should do it, you should not do it. But definitely cannot say that. If you want to, you need to learn about it before you do.
What I think that it has lots of pros and cons as well. But the basic thing that a person needs is to gain much knowledge in that chapter and then try and then explore the upcoming chapters of that book. What I think personally is this. So yeah, let's wrap up. A pretty good session. I hope you both liked. And yeah, it was my first podcast ever with you. So thank you very much for coming. And yeah, thank you.
It was nice.
Thank you very much for coming in this podcast. It was pleasure talking to you. It was a nice time. Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
It was my pleasure talking to you, Tejas. It was such a nice podcast where we touch base on so many different aspects of life, of the software engineering or non-software engineering, and the last person stocks and crypto. So definitely a wide variety of content to discuss. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.